the last time that we heard about a game that took like what a decade to develop, we heard about that from Duke Nukem Forever, and look how that ended up.
Don't you take the name of Duke in vain, all right?
All right, hey everybody, there it is. I've had them
What's
sitting
going on?
there. I've had them just sitting there, paused, waiting. Like, here we go, guys, and just waiting.
Getting antsy.
Well, I
Can't
mean,
believe you.
yeah, it's what I do, right? Well, hey everybody, welcome to TRUtalk. This is episode 3. We are joined tonight with DoctorSwellman, or Doc. And we also have Bear Sound. He's our guest host and new True affiliate streamer. Doc is actually a newly sponsored streamer through TRUgaming as well. How you guys doing?
I am doing excellent. Excellent. It is 7/24/2018. My birthday is tomorrow, and I am hype as heck.
Yep.
Believe it or not. I actually just got back from my birthday dinner and everything.
Oh, nice. Where'd you go?
McDonald's.
It's called yeah, it's called McDonald's. It's an American steakhouse that serves chicken.
Steakhouse?
Oh man, if McDonald's serves steak, then just it's all over.
It's the driest steak you can possibly eat.
Well done, shoe leather. It's like the stuff they serve overseas, man. Oh man.
So we're excited to have you guys on the podcast. Both are new members to TRUgaming as far as the affiliate program and the sponsored streamer program. And I think Bear Sound's first time on any of our podcasts. And Doc, I think you've already done StreamKey.
I have not. I have not done StreamKey. Nope.
Okay, I saw your name
this is
come
my first
across,
time as
so-
well.
All
I
right,
called in to phone in Friday once. And that was it.
That counts.
sure, yeah. So then I stand corrected. Now, now, Bear Sound's done this before. Doc's new.
Oh man, I'm getting put on the spot. Ooh, I'm sweating. I need to put on some more deodorant.
This is the part where you say, "Don't judge me, Doc."
Oh, is that in the script?
Yes. we don't have a script. All right, so let's get into it, guys. We're a couple topics for tonight. Sub badges. Twitch says they're coming sometime in July. We think. We hope. We're all sitting around waiting.
Probably not.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't seen any emails or anything like that. Like
Yeah.
I know a couple emote artists and sub badge artists that are just waiting in anticipation, waiting for the floodgates to open because they're anticipating a lot of work either over the
Soon.
weekend or just next week. But that's why I've been telling my guys, either this week or the week after, it'll be around then. So I mean, we haven't heard any other confirmation besides of what they put out. What was it, last month?
Mm-hmm.
Pretty
Yeah.
much post E3, and that was
Allegedly.
about it.
Well, and
Yeah.
then, in the meantime, new DLC coming, right? Got a couple of games, some new games, some DLC for some other games. Now some new movies that we've just found out about between
Yes.
announcing the podcast and going live. So
Shazam!
yeah, well, spoilers.
Got him.
So lots of hype building up. But before we get into any of that stuff, Bear Sound, how are you doing?
I'm good. I just got done with a little 2-hour stream. Feeling good. Very highly caffeinated.
Amen to that.
Oh, caffeinated. Yeah, I just finished a Mountain Dew. I'm done for the night.
That's it. That's all she wrote.
That's all you need. But hey, I'm glad you're doing okay.
I had one
That
of
makes me
those-
happy.
Yeah.
That makes me happy. Makes my heart like warm.
Monster makes like Gatorade now.
Ugh.
It's like
What?
hydrate. Yeah, it's like
Oh,
it's like supercharged Gatorade. That's
I know what
really
you're
good.
talking
Wow.
about.
It
They've
comes in
had them
clear
around
bottles.
like they've had them around for a little bit. They had
I think
like
it's
the
called Monster
hydrate.
Hydro,
Yeah.
something like that.
Yep.
But it's delicious.
Ugh. So highly caffeinated. Okay.
Yes, highly caffeinated Gatorade.
If I was highly caffeinated this late at night, I would not sleep for a week. It feels like.
He'd just be like,
So,
Yeah.
GamerDad, would you say that you are jacked up on Mountain Dew?
No, I just had a little bit. So
He's just slowing down.
yeah,
It's like
I
in a
just
wine
just
glass.
just enough to get me to the end of the night. Let me wind down. You know what I mean?
Mm.
I hear you.
So,
Little sip sip.
yeah, sure.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, we'll put it that way.
Oh
And
baby.
And it gets awkward, chat. So
That's what I do.
Just to get started with Bear Sound, give us a brief overview of kind of who you are as a streamer. Tell us about your channel. What got you into Twitch? Just give us a little bit of your background.
All right. Well, I'm a variety streamer, I guess. Just chill comedy, playing whatever. I got into streaming 6-7 months ago. I was playing PUBG, and I met a guy who became my friend and got me into streaming. He was a small streamer at the time too, and we just kind of played off each other and played like Counter-Strike and whatnot in PUBG. And then I found Admired Plague, his guild service, and Streamlabs was still doing the guild stuff. And then that's when I found TRUgaming. So I've been with Tru for 4 or 5 months probably.
Nice.
So it's been fun. What's the word I'm looking for? I'm having a hard time streaming for a super long period of time because of school and whatnot, and I find that kind of discouraging, But
Definitely understand that.
after several rebrands, it's kind of looking up,
Right. So speaking of rebrands, right? You didn't always used to be Bear Sound.
No.
Where
Where
the hell did Bear Sound come from?
Bear Sound was my best friend's old handle, and he committed suicide.
Ooh.
And that's
Wow.
kind of what I did the charity stream, 24 hours that I couldn't even do because stuff came up. I got like 16 hours. So yeah, his old handle on Steam and everything like that was Bear Sound. So I was like, well, Wicked Shifter is a good name, whatever. But it's something just came over me to take his name and make Twitch not about me, and do good and do charity streams, once every couple of months for suicide prevention and stuff like that. And it's just a funny name to have. It raises questions. That's pretty much it.
So the name is just kind of a little bit of respect back to one of your good friends.
Yeah, it's an homage to him.
Homage,
Have his name live on
That's awesome.
forever, stuff like that.
Well, I'm guessing part of the answer I can probably assume, but so what keeps you motivated to stream on Twitch? You said already that you've got school that gets in the way a lot, but given your new namesake,
Yes.
it feels a little bit like you've got some motivation to kind of carry that name forward for your best friend.
Yeah. The motivation obviously primarily is my best friend, and to keep going for him, kind of do honor to him, make do stuff that he would think was really cool, and just do everything I can to honor him. Also, what keeps me motivated, I found as well, is just even getting a follower each stream. Like just any kind of growth or just having a fun time while doing it, and seeing that growth and having people come back and stuff like that keeps me seriously motivated. It's obviously I'm not making really a lot of money. I'm not really making a lot of money, but it's fun to just meet new people and hang out and just have fun gaming, and whatever comes of it comes of it.
There you go.
Arknon says Bear Sound is whenever you don't add filters to your mic input. Yeah, that's that too.
Yeah.
Bear Sound's whatever you want it to be, baby.
Oh man.
I need an adult.
I am an adult.
All right, so we're just gonna move on in, right? We're gonna put it aside. Segue. There it is.
Got him.
So we're gonna hit on sub badges first, right? So we've got a little bit of input from the chat already about sub badges. They're not gonna be done like normal emotes, so you're not gonna go onto the site and upload, like, it's not the same resolution. I think our initial email that announced that affiliates are getting sub badges told us the base badge plus what 3, 6, and 12 months. Gave you the resolution that you need and everything like that. So we have some slightly different rules about it, but we were told by the end of July, and here we are with a week left and dead silence from Twitch. We don't know what's coming, but everybody that I've been chatting with, all the other affiliates that are super excited, we're all sitting around with like, we got our badges. They're done. Where's the upload button, right? We're just sitting around waiting. I mean, have you guys messed with yours at all?
No, I haven't
yes.
bothered.
Oh, go ahead. I actually have mine in commission right now. I have mine set up and ready to go pretty much by the time they come out. Getting it out of the way before the, that workload I was talking about earlier ends up coming through and everything. So, yep. So
yeah, I haven't bothered because until they're announced, there's no point in doing anything, I think.
Well, I mean, so
or once they're released for
Sure.
affiliate, like as soon as it's said, like, hey, affiliates can have sub badges now, then I'll start doing stuff. But for now, there doesn't really seem like there's a point.
right. Yeah, I mean, I can see that. I guess what my concern is, since there's a lot more affiliates out there that to add something new to their content, there's going to be a major influx of submitted badges, which means a lengthy review process. This isn't going to be something that's turned around in a day or two, which is my concern. So I actually ran a community contest and had different people submit their entries for the 3, 6, and 12-month badges, and we let the entire community vote on them. So they've been done for a while. We did that all the way through June. At the beginning of July, we did the voting, and we picked them out. So I'm ready to go. I think I have to go make sure I download the 3 different sizes because they wanted 3 sizes of each of them, I'm assuming. So we'll be uploading those as soon as we get the button, But I want to get ahead, so I'm one of the first waves that gets approved, and I think, Doc, you're probably thinking the same thing.
Yep. That was the same thing that happened whenever we got our emotes and everything back last year around this time, back in the beginning of July or so. I submitted mine as soon as possible, and I got most of mine approved, except my third badge, or my third emote, within like the first week. And like the last one didn't end up getting approved for like 2 weeks or something like that, just because of the major influx and the workload that Twitch staff has to go through and sorting through all that stuff and everything like that. I mean, there's probably hundreds of thousands of affiliates out there, if not more.
Yeah.
So I've had both sides of the coin where I've submitted an emote and the next day it's good to go, and I've had it to where it's been a month later and it's still not approved.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just an ebb and flow kind of thing. It all depends on the kind of traffic that's coming through, and it's tough sometimes. But I want to be ahead of it because, Doc, you said July, last year you were talking about emotes and stuff, so you likely have 12-month plus subscribers.
Yep, that's what I
close
was
to.
referring to. Yeah.
So it's crazy because you've got all these people, right? We got it announced. In the end of May, I think the announcement came out early June. So you've got people racking up time. By the time this gets done and approved, I know I've got someone who just hit 11 months. So
yeah, I got people who are racking out 13 months right now.
Yep.
So
I just got my first 2 subs on Saturday.
That's awesome.
Friday.
Oh, that's awesome. That is awesome.
Congrats on those.
So they're gonna get to slowly go through watching those badges progress. I think it'll be a fun, different take instead of just seeing the star everywhere.
Yeah. Which I'm very glad they revamped the star back whenever they did change, the whole subscription thing for affiliates and everything like that. You remember how it used to be like, just bright purple and or rather just mostly white and everything like that, and it was just very, very hard to look at on certain backgrounds, and it's just like, what?
I've had
Why am I dealing with this?
Yeah, I mean, I've had to tweak my emote once or twice because it looked, it wasn't visible in dark mode, but it was too bright in day mode, I guess. So it's interesting. So these are going to be the same way, but I think we've got some good contrast in them. One of the things that came up though, at first, I heard some partners were not pleased with us getting badges, or was that, I don't know if that was really drama or if that was just kind of a misconception of drama that wasn't really a big deal.
Yeah, I haven't heard anything about that. That seems kind of like a dick move to get mad. It's like, oh, what they get, what we get? Ugh, peons.
I interact with a lot of different streamers, just overall, and I have confirmed like there have been words of partners probably, very um concerned about affiliates getting, it seems like they're getting um handouts per se or whatever it may be, and then the partners aren't really getting any additional content or like opportunities or whatever. So that was a thing that I was hearing about. But
So, what? I
yeah.
mean, why would they be worried about us getting stuff? If I mean, they're a partner. They've earned it, obviously. And
I think
go
I
ahead.
think the mentality, I'm sorry. I think the mentality that they have, it's kind of like you work for it, you earn it and everything like that. And coming back from the older days of Twitch and everything, you used to need like so many concurrent viewers, like a lot more than you need now. Like we're talking about like 250, upwards of like almost 500 way back in the day and everything.
Yeah.
And some people think of that as an issue. Some people think that a lot of the affiliates can't handle you know the issues with actually monetizing your channel and everything. Managing your money, making sure that taxes are being uh, paid properly and everything whenever you do receive said money from Twitch and everything, because as we
Yeah.
know, that really isn't the same as your regular job. So there's a lot of
Yeah.
different things, and it's
Right.
very
Well,
complex.
you could argue that the affiliate who's serious and gonna make that push to make Twitch their career, they're gonna have all their ducks in a row. But and then you have the affiliate who's not taking it seriously. They're not really gonna take advantage of sub badges and stuff like that. So it
Yeah.
wouldn't necessarily matter.
Yeah, a lot of those concerns and complaints have died out mostly, but there are talks of like partners saying that, okay, if they're getting all this stuff, then what are we getting in tandem with that? Because as you guys know, Twitch and Amazon are just ever growing and everything,
Yeah.
and I'm sure that partners are wanting to see more perks and more content for them to provide to their communities, um, as with what we're getting. Because as me as a partner, if I see an affiliate and everything, like, and this is thinking, in their minds and everything, an affiliate getting sub badges, well, I saw us getting, the 8-year sub badges or whatever, those came out for us. So I guess that's something that kind of came out in tandem that they got first. But
Yeah.
it's just trying to grab as much as they can. They want more and more.
Hmm.
And I'm not saying this about every partner. I'm not saying that about any particular person. It's just what I've heard from certain people, and some of those being partners themselves.
Yeah. Yeah. But it seems like it's a small thing to get worked up about,
For sure.
especially
Well,
if you're a partner.
but one of the points that I'm seeing coming up in the chat while we're talking about this is, technically speaking, partnership is a very difficult thing to obtain, and it really should be, right? But what I'm kind of getting the perception of is, in some cases, some of the features that affiliates are getting that partners initially had for their own is kind of slowly shortening that gap, right? Closing the
Exactly.
gap, as someone said in chat, between what affiliate and partner is. And there's another point that, technically speaking, you could argue that affiliates make more money for Amazon than the partners do, because we don't get as much of a cut that the partners do.
Right.
But what I really think it does come down to, though, is the concern for the partners that I reached this kind of pinnacle level of Twitch. I'm where I've tried to earn this, and I'm in a very special place. And now, maybe to some, and I don't want to speak for all partners, but I think some of the argument might have been, you're making it feel less special for me. But at the same time, we're getting some things that are kind of old news for what
Yeah.
they've had. But then they're also getting these other things. They're getting to try out new programs before affiliates even hear about them. Like,
Yep.
the bounty program was initially started for partners only to try out. Now there's a
Yep.
beta program for affiliates to apply for. but there's been all sorts of other programs that they get to try out before we do, and then they've got these partner conventions, or not conventions, but they'll have meetups for the partners and stuff like that in different countries. There's all sorts of stuff that they get to do, well, that's not from a jealousy thing, but it's I really don't think this was meant as a taking away from the partners. I think it was meant as helping to bring the affiliates a little bit more forward, so we don't feel like we're just somebody who gets a sub button and get nothing else, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
There's also the concept of other platforms and everything like that they have to compete with as well. You can see them going up against, a big competitor, Mixer. Mixer is a huge one that has lower partner requirements, and it's easier to get monetized on their platform. And so they're trying to match up with that, and then YouTube as well, which YouTube isn't really, helping their case a lot these days. But, I believe that, competition breeds innovation, and it breeds a better company,
right?
And so with them trying to push this out to more and more people, better options, better content, why do you want to stream on my platform? These are the reasons why, and I think that's another reason like that is coming out like that as well. Some of the partners may not be seeing it as that, because they're worried about their circle, what they're doing for their community, what they're earning, blah blah blah, all these things. So there's a lot more to it than those things, but overall.
Right. Yeah. And another good point was made that it it's just encouraging the affiliates to come, or to other people to become an affiliate, right? To fill that, to get that pipeline running, because if you see these other Mixer and YouTube, well, we don't have to talk about YouTube because, as you said, Doc, they're not helping themselves. But things like Mixer and was it Caffeine, which I don't think is really going, is it?
Yeah. I don't think so. Yeah. Facebook gaming is picking up steam.
It is.
Yeah,
and then,
especially with Smosh.
Yes.
Being
Smosh, Green Skull, Darkness, who is around Gothalion, Broman, a lot of those guys.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
bigger streamers.
But yeah, it's right now. It's just a business to encourage getting people in. I think. I think something like this is harmless. I do honestly think that if a lot of things that partners would normally get access to first, if those stopped being like first come to partners kind of thing, I could see that shifting that argument that maybe
absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, let them deal with it first. They as a partner, they should be more established. They should know their community better. They should be a better voice of Twitch than I don't want to say a lowly affiliate, but I'll say a lowly affiliate. You know what I mean? They're supposed to be.
Scrub.
Yeah, right. That's it. Stream's over. Thanks for joining the podcast, guys. No.
Got him.
So. But from something as simple as sub badges, I don't think Twitch is trying to stick it to the partners. If the bounty system came out for everybody to try out before partners could try it out, I would kind of entertain the argument that it's different. That they don't really care as much for partners, but it's very difficult to get into that upper echelon. So I think they're still taking good care of the partners.
There are streamers where it's like, how the hell are you not a partner?
Right.
There's so many of them, but it's hard to have those, the concurrent viewers especially. And
most of them are very supportive. I see someone else saying in chat that most of the partners that they know are really excited about this kind of news. I know partners that want to support affiliates to help them grow, and I'm not talking like, running raids to boost them to partnership. I'm talking about legitimate, helpful, beneficial support to help an affiliate grow, and partners seem pretty good on that regard.
Speaking of excitement, who's excited for some of those new games though? Because I got Octopath Traveler yesterday.
I haven't played that game yet. It looks really cool though.
I'm just gonna sit here and wait till November.
What's coming out in November?
How do you not know how do you not know this?
Like literally everything's coming out in November.
There's so many games coming out in November. Is it Fallout?
Yeah, chat's got it. 76.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
11/14.
Like literally everything comes out in November every year. That's pretty much it.
Unpopular opinion about 76.
Oh boy, here we go.
I don't think it's going to do very well with the core audience because it's not a story game that everybody is grown accustomed to. It's very much a survival Rust type of game with Fallout elements. If they find a way to throw in a decent story that's not just kind of like fetch quests
Mm-hmm.
24/7, then it will have a longer lifespan. But if it's just a survival sim and all that kind of stuff, then it won't uh, live a long time. It'll be like Rust, where it has its fan base, but it won't be Fallout. You know what I mean?
Well,
Yeah.
I have heard that there are going to be areas on the map where you can trigger some campaign quests. I don't know if campaign quests are the right word, but
Yeah.
it's not going to be like running around Ark or it's going to be like running around Ark or Rust, where you have to build your own base, get resources and stuff like that. But what they're going to add into it is the component where you can do certain things in the game, so it doesn't feel like it's all just PvP, because that's what I'm really worried about too.
Yeah.
Is the PvP aspect. I don't have enough time to go onto public servers and just farm up and play
Oh yeah,
all
yeah.
day and stuff like that. So
My big thing
yeah,
is I don't want to be playing this game, building my settlement, having a grand old time role playing or whatever, and then get killed by like Teabagger69 and have all my stuff taken. You know what I
Got
mean?
hmm
I don't want to get killed by a 12-year-old every 10 minutes.
right. Because what happens on every Ark server when it gets reset? You have a tribe come out. You have a tribe war, right? Alpha tribe comes up. They determine exactly how everything else is going to go on the map, and some new guy like me who might be able to jump in there once or twice a week for an hour to go farm up some mats and make sure I didn't starve to death in my sleep.
Yeah.
You know, I don't have enough time to invest into the game, and then oops, I accidentally built like one corner of my wall just over that imaginary borderline of your little Alpha tribe, and as soon as I come onto the game, there's a whole bunch of big raptors
My
and
house is on
T-Rex. Yeah,
fire.
right. And then there's a whole bunch of T-Rexes with mounts on them, and people waiting to eat me. Like it's
Yeah.
no.
Now, when they say there's going to be private servers, so if I
not
can
yet.
have a private,
Not on initial
not
launch.
initially, but they say they're going to be implemented.
Mhm.
If I can have a private server where me and my friends can create a world and like role play and Fallout and have a fun old time doing that, then I can see the game having its more success.
Yeah.
But I just don't think it being survival Fallout only can keep it going for a long time. Unless it's like badass and there's so much cool stuff to fight and yada yada yada. I just don't see it lasting a super long time. Although, what I do see blowing up is the new Spider-Man.
Oh,
That game looks so good.
I have not looked at any footage. Is that bad?
No,
That's
keep
that's
yourself
oriented.
pure.
It's a
Yeah, it's
tactic of
oriented.
mine.
Yeah, I think I know what you're
Every-
talking about. I actually saw it. Okay.
From
Yeah, it's
everything
supposed to
that
be
I've
good.
seen, it looks incredible. The cast of characters, the graphics, the way you fight, all that stuff, it just looks so clean and so
Yep.
good. And it might be game of the year, because
Oh.
we have Red Dead 2 coming out in like a month and a half, and nobody's talking about it.
Right, because they're all talking about Fallout 76 right now because we're all waiting for the beta.
That's true.
Last time I bring us back to it, the beta, like everyone wanted to pre-order the game, beta. Now we're waiting until October because they're trying to do some, I guess, work on the servers and stuff like that. But
Yeah.
no, I've heard a lot of hype for Spider-Man. Mostly it's around the comic book fans, right? Like it's. I don't know if it's anything like any of the other Spider-Man games, and I know it's supposed to be kind of on its own. But-
it is its own thing.
But it's still Spider-Man. So how far from any other Spider-Man game can it be if you still get to swing around the city, you still get to fight the same villains. If you're not into comic book games, I don't know if this is the game for you.
Yeah. Well, it's being marketed very heavily on PS4 as like, oh, the big PS4 game coming out. And what I see cool about it is it has the potential to be the best Spider-Man game and be better than Spider-Man 2 way back in the day. Because Spider-Man games have kind of sucked for the most part. There's been a couple good ones here and there, but there's never been like a big AAA Spider-Man game that's done very well and been really, really good. What this game has going for me is the combat looks super smooth and like Arkham style combat, but like
I was about to say that.
more fluid with like more animation Spider-Man stuff, and the story looks pretty cool. And also there is the web swinging in the game they've shown, and all the different ways you can move around. Looks to be super fun. And if you ever played Sunset Overdrive on the Xbox One, Insomniac developed that game too, and they had moving around and going around the city. They had that down to a T. So if the game is really fun and has a pretty good story, then it'll boost it up, because it could provide, especially for content creators, it can provide a lot of cool content opportunities, especially with like new ways to move around and speedrunning and stuff like that, because it's a Spider-Man game, so it's fast. It's very fast paced.
Right. Well, I mean, if it's got, I don't know. You remember what Arkham Knight, or Arkham Asylum, Arkham City, whatever that the trilogy was. A good friend of mine actually played all of them, and he'll go back and repeat through all of them.
Oh, they're phenomenal games.
They're great games for that specific niche, right?
Well,
unpopular opinion, I'm not a Batman fan when it comes to games. I like the movies, I like some of the stories, but I'm sorry, it just
listen. Opinions can be wrong. It's okay.
Yeah. Oh, and yours is.
Got him.
Arkham City was one of the best games I've ever played, superhero or not.
I don't disagree. I enjoyed watching my friend go through and do a bunch of those things. And was that the one where you God, who was the main villain in that one? It's
Doctor Strange.
Okay.
Or not Doctor Strange. Is it Doctor Strange?
No.
Hugo Strange?
No, Doctor Strange is a totally different universe. We don't know who that is in Batman.
But it's what is his name? It's the guy with the bald guy with the glasses who what is his name? Is it Strange? I don't know.
Yeah,
but he was the main guy.
Well, what was the Batman game where you had you had the Batmobile, you went around the whole city and you complete.
That was Arkham Knight.
Arkham Knight, okay, right. I watched some
play. The main villain was. Oh, I don't want to spoil it because it's kind of a big spoiler.
It's been out for a couple years now.
Yeah, well, it was the second Robin that got killed.
Gotcha. Yeah, I got you now. But all those games, like you have I'll call them the Easter eggs in them, where you have the main story to follow, but when you finish the story, there's so much more content to do. So if Spider-Man comes out to be that way, I can see that being fun for those. Yeah. But then again, it's still fun for those who like the Spider-Man universe, right? Because you might have side quests that have to do with just like one or two of the Sinister Seven, and you've got to go complete those things. Or you might have some side quests from Doc Ock or something like that, and they might bring in.
Yeah.
Do we know which story arc it's going to follow? Is it going to be Ultimate? Is it going to be?
No one knows, but from trailers, I don't know. It looks to be doing its own thing because there's weird things that shouldn't be happening, and I don't know.
Well, then you've got that problem, right? Because if look at every movie that's come out, and there's a slight segue for us there. Look at every movie that's come out in any kind of like superhero mode, right? We're gonna pick on some of the Spider-Man movies for a minute because we know that they weren't as good as the rest of like the MCU. But when they follow a specific comic book arc or storyline, you've got all of those comic book nerds. I'm talking to all of you, who are like,
all of them.
Yeah, but it should have been this guy who was the villain, not that guy. Right? Yeah. See, look at Doc. Doc's
the purist.
And so,
the purist,
if you have somebody that comes in and is like, that's not how it really was supposed to go in the comic books. So you're fighting against so many currents with a game, with a movie, with any story that's not going to be true to its specific story arc. And
that's kind of the same thing how it was with Star Wars too, when the new ones came out. You had the fan base who kind of was like, it's whatever, it's okay. They're not like huge Star Wars purists. And then you have the ones that are freaking out about it. Oh, it's a copy, yada, yada, yada. Same kind of thing. I liked The Last Jedi. I thought it was pretty cool. But people are going to they're going to send me hate mail for liking it.
Well,
what other games are you excited for, though?
Yeah, what you got? I'm curious about this No Man's Sky DLC.
That looks pretty cool.
Yeah, that just launched, didn't it, today?
Well, I mean, realistically, all we're doing is getting the rest of the game that we were expecting when it released.
Pretty much.
Let's be fair.
2 years
pretty
later.
Much. I popped in to see one of the top end streamers, Kgoth or whatever, Gothalion. He was waiting for the DLC drop and everything, and he hadn't started it yet. I guess it didn't go live, but I'm probably going to check out like a VOD or some kind of review or something just to see what's going on with it.
Yeah,
Like,
what are the details on it? Is it third person, multiplayer, and what else?
I'm not all too sure. Just a complete game. I mean, that's all I know. So I'll be taking a look at it.
I think it's third person mode, multiplayer, and like you can change your skin. That's like the big three that I saw.
Oh, wait a minute, guys. Whoa.
Lord forbid.
Change your skins.
Change your skin.
We're set. I'm buying it now. I'm done. That's it.
I played that
Stream's
game.
over. We're gonna
when
go.
Oh, game was dog shit when it came out.
It was. It
was,
absolutely was.
Like the first 2 hours were really cool. You could like go into new planets and flying around. Like they got that nailed down pretty well, and that was cool. But then it was just technology recharge over and over until you went insane. That's all you did.
Let's see what else we got. We got Megaman 11, first Mega Man game that's been actually developed in like the last almost half a decade, if not longer. It's been a while.
That's crazy.
That's actually developed by the actual main team inside Capcom, so it's not going to be Mighty Number 9. If you guys heard that.
Can we not talk about that? I backed that game. I don't want to talk about it.
Oh, I'm so sorry, man. See, Darksiders 3, a revival from a dead studio. You guys remember that? THQ Nordic, I think.
Ooh,
yes,
wow.
yes.
Yeah,
I'm super
that's going to
stoked
be
for that.
awesome.
I love Darksiders 1 and 2.
Yep. Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, which was announced at E3. That's December 7th, I think. Something like that.
Yeah, it's going to be a Christmas thing.
There's one that we're not mentioning though, and it's I'm
Super Mario Party.
Oh jeez, get out! No, Cyberpunk.
Cyberpunk.
Does Cyberpunk come out this year?
We're told it's coming, and it's apparently been like a huge deal. It's been promised.
It looks good.
It's been promised for a long time, and now we're actually getting.
Yeah.
I know nothing about the
first-person game.
I know nothing about it because it's been something that's just, if it takes that many years to even get anywhere with, I'm like, I'm just gonna wait.
The last time that we heard about a game that took like a decade to develop, we heard about that from Duke Nukem Forever, and look how that ended up.
Don't you take the name of Duke in vain, all right? I really, really love Duke Nukem Forever. Truly, it is one of my favorite games.
As cheesy as it was and everything, I
so
see the
much
charm.
Fun. It was so much fun for me as like a 14-year-old.
I see the charm.
So last year?
Shut up.
Got him.
I am 21 years old. You son of a bitch.
Man, he's done already. You got your introduction. Get out. You're done.
See you guys next time.
We love you, man. It's okay.
Oh man, yeah. One of the other examples of a game that was in the making for so long, Diablo 3, right?
Yep.
We waited forever.
Yeah, I see that.
So they have their opportunities, right?
They've turned out to be good.
Mm-hmm. Starcraft 2 started off really good.
Yep.
Initially, yes.
Yeah.
Blame Kerrigan.
Yeah. It was, I liked the initial story. I really did.
I did too.
Yeah, no, it was awesome. And then.
And Dan.
What else do we got coming out? Destiny 2 Forsaken.
Yeah.
Anybody here play Destiny?
Destiny 2 1.0.
I feel like
again.
but I feel like every TRUtalk podcast, until it releases, or even then after, is gonna hit on new things about Destiny. Like, have we gotten new content, new information since we found out Cade's dead?
Oh yeah, they Game Informer's in this whole month-long thing, showing off gameplay and all the supers and just the kind of stuff like that. Details about weapons and.
That sounds about right. They had an exclusive story for the Taken King whenever that came out as well.
Yeah.
They were sourced directly by Bungie.
I don't know
do
what Destiny has done to me, but I feel like I have Stockholm Syndrome because Destiny 1, the same thing. Crappy expansion, really good expansion, and then meh expansion.
Well, from what I understand, it just like it takes a lot to actually for them to implement like pretty much anything into that engine because it's absolutely trash to develop for. Even though it's like absolutely beautiful. I don't know why or who made that decision in that company to make that happen, but yeah, to implement like such a minuscule patch such as like weapon tuning or whatever, it requires this huge release of notes and it takes like an entire month to implement, and it's like
this week at Bungie we're fixing grass. Update dropping in 2 months.
Yeah, apparently grass was causing a frame rate lag bad enough to cause your PC to like blue screen and crash. So we're doing that. We're fixing that hot now. Thanks.
Oh.
What about content? Shh. Don't worry about that.
We're gonna go ahead and kill your favorite character for your next content release.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, it's so good. And we're bringing someone back from the dead.
The
really?
Cool, yeah, like the Queen.
It's Aldrin.
Well, Aldrin, they never showed him dying in the Taken King cutscene. It was implied.
Yeah.
But it was never showed. The Queen totally got wiped out. So
I'm pretty sure that's a cop-out / Deus Ex Machina that's going on right now. Honestly.
And another thing, they cut out the voice acting for your character in Destiny 2.
They totally did.
There's these long swaths of silence where you're totally supposed to respond to your ghost or somebody else, and you're just standing there like, duh, It's the weirdest thing. And there's nothing in the game to justify the cut of cost, I guess. It's weird. But I still play it every goddamn day. But no, Forsaken does look cool. They're bringing back random weapon wolves, which I don't know why they got rid of that in the first place. Shut up.
I do the same thing.
They're letting you, if you want to run 3 shotguns, you can run 3 shotguns or whatever.
But why do you need to do that? Why do you need 3 shotguns?
PvP, you can mix up damage, stuff like that. It's a weird.
They a lot of the community they've been asking for faster paced PvP like for a while, and then the closest thing that they got to it was everybody got sped up, and like certain aspects of the game were sped up. But you can't make those big changes, like I said, because of developing limitations and all that stuff until the big release. So they're putting that on the back end and everything.
They have a live event coming out. It's the Solstice to Heroes, I think is what it's called.
Yeah.
And it starts the 31st, and the actual game updates for that have already rolled out. So there's as the Whisper of the Worm, the Black Sparrow from D1, weapon balances and tunings, more weapon masterworks, armor stuff, all that kind of stuff. As well as changing the way Crucible is. So you can play quick play, you can play like Rumble or whatever. And then
finally,
and then you can also play like a weekly changing event, it's like doubles and something like that now.
But guys, I paid $60 for this content 3 years ago. Come on, man.
It's so weird. Then there was the huge backlash about them throttling XP gains. So
that was a
more
huge
stuff.
Yeah,
that was a huge thing.
It's just weird.
But a lot of that
looks promising.
A lot of that is probably their relationship with Activision and everything as well, because how
that's what they say, but
we can only hold out hope. We can only rely on the hype that they're building, and we can wait to see what happens when it releases. Speaking of building hype, waiting for things to release, we saw two new previews of 2 new things coming out. One's coming back, and one's a new superhero movie. I'm gonna hit the superhero movie first because it's a little bit less, but I saw a preview for Shazam today.
Shazam! Shit is the best.
Got him.
Who the hell is that actor, though?
I don't know. He looks familiar.
And I still can't remember his name. We were talking about this off off screen for a minute. The guy who played the villain in the Flash TV show was in the wheelchair. I can't remember that actor's name, and it's driving me nuts. He almost seems like he's goofy enough to actually play the Shazam character first.
It looks like Entertainment Weekly gives the first look at actor Zachary Levi and his superhero costume, same next actor
Levi.
Jack
Okay.
Dylan Grazer, who plays Orphan Freddie Freeman in the movie Shazam. So I think Zach Levi is
Was he
the
Chuck
hero?
from the
I think
TV
so.
show Chuck?
I think so. It looks like
I
it.
don't know.
Everybody goes to IMDb.
That's what I'm doing.
I mean, let's see. Zachary Levi.
Yep.
He was Chuck. Okay. Okay, so I can buy that a little bit. Just
Okay,
just
yeah.
a little bit because
Totally worth.
Chuck was kind of goofy.
I am so hyped about Shazam because it's gonna be the first DC movie that looks good that has like comedy and it's lighter tones. DC's been so dark, and they've had crazy dark movies.
Yeah.
They have been really dark lately. Yeah, for sure.
And then they
It's
try
kind
their
of
hand at
universe.
comedy, and Suicide Squad comes out. We all know how that turned out.
I'm sorry. What movie?
Suicide Squad.
I'm sorry,
Suicide Squad.
I haven't heard of this movie. I only watch good.
Oh, I'm
movies.
sorry. Yeah, it's
Oh,
okay.
okay.
I understand. It's already dead.
You know, but I still think, and it's Tom Cavanaugh is his name. I still think
DC,
Tom Cavanaugh would be a
depressing
really
content.
goofy Shazam.
Yeah.
Yeah. It just look his powers, his suit is like goofy enough, but it still works.
Yeah,
It just looks like a fun movie. And I
It
think
looks
it'll be
like
really fun.
some of the clips make it look like an overly large suit in a small dude's in like a scrawny dude's body.
Oh, it's totally padded.
Like I almost want to find a clip of like a 10-year-old kid wearing his dad's suit.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean? Like I almost
Yeah,
feel
exactly.
like that.
And there's the Aquaman trailer that dropped.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I'm already sold on Aquaman. I think it'll be interesting because Aquaman is kind of, in a lot of cases, the joke of DC, right? Like he gets made fun of in a lot of other things.
Agreed.
I'm curious to see, like, I'm hoping it follows the trend of how Wonder Woman came out, where it's got a lot of good, serious action, but then I'm also hoping that it keeps true to the character itself, and there might be
Yeah.
the actor himself does really, really good stuff with like just being silly, right? He can make some really weird,
Yeah.
awkward jokes. I'm
But
sold
he-
on that.
Yeah, he can also. He's the dude that played the king in Game of Thrones in the first season, right?
Mhm. Yes.
Yeah, so he can do serious and action
Yeah.
stuff too.
Yep.
I think he's good for Aquaman.
He was. I mean, he was pretty good in. Was it Justice League?
Yeah, I never saw Justice League though.
Or no, it was. Was that actually the title? No, Dawn of Justice. Yeah. So.
Yeah, and the CGI
Ah.
mustache that Superman had.
Next.
Next. Oh, lordy.
Okay, so the other big thing that we heard about, it's a revival, if you will. That since we love revivals on TRUtalk, since we just went through our own, Clone Wars, everybody.
Yes.
Now I have not shared my views with these two guys because I was gonna this is gonna be more of a, you know how you watch on YouTube the reactions videos to
Yep.
Yes.
somebody watching so.
My boy Etika.
Here you go, guys. Here's my never before spoken review of the upcoming Clone Wars. I have no idea how they got to where they are now. I never finished the series.
Actually, that's kind of the same here.
Oh my god! But
I was never able to finish the
It's
But
series.
I
on
want-
Netflix.
I want to go back and finish it now. Oh my god! Because when, just at the end, right when she turns around and she goes, "Hello, Master. It's been a long time," or whatever. I'm like, what?
Ah! Yeah.
Now I gotta go watch the first Clone
Yeah,
Wars.
so I'm like,
Yeah.
Wait,
a
what? Yeah.
lot of shit goes down.
I've seen most of the first one, or just the entire
It's-
series and
it-
everything.
oh,
So I have an
it's so
idea,
good.
but it's like, wait, okay, what's going on?
It goes from your standard like cartoon. It's like it's good, and then it just goes to like, oh my god, this is phenomenal.
It's like Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Yeah, yeah,
Like,
yeah.
in terms of that.
Yeah. And the teaser that they built up was fantastic, right? Where they had
yes,
all of the clone helmets just lined up, and then the explosion just tore through all of them.
oh,
You know,
Commander Cody's my boy.
Oh shit.
No, I've got a special connection to that show because me and my best friend, who I said earlier, passed. Me and him, we watched that all the time. That was our favorite show.
so you're
Nice.
gonna be glued to the screen no matter how good or bad the show is. You're
dude.
done. You're in.
Oh, dude, I'm in there. We had
Hell
the
yeah.
Legos, we had the games, everything.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm totally stoked for it. I'm looking forward.
I'm excited
Do
as
we
well.
even know when?
Did they give a date? I don't think they give a date.
And is
Maybe
it? And
I'm
where
thinking
it's,
2019.
And what it's? I mean, it's going to be a series, a show, right? Do we know?
Yeah,
what
they're
network?
continuing.
Like who has the
um,
rights?
Disney,
don't know.
I think. Yeah, it has to be Disney.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Okay, but is Disney going to put it straight to Netflix? Is this going to be an Amazon thing? Is this going to be NBC?
I think it's gonna go back to Cartoon Network if they were smart. That's where it was originally, I think.
Yeah, but with streaming television these days,
Mhm.
Yeah.
you know, like got nerdy throwback
Netflix
shows.
would be smart.
I think Amazon would be smart.
Maybe.
It all depends on Disney's relationship with those streaming partners because, you know, if they're in tight with Amazon, if that's not like a direct competitor for them for some reason, that would be a good place to drop it. You know, please don't go to
Yeah.
Hulu. That is the least accessible, in my opinion, out of those three. But
Okay, so it says it'll be released on Disney's direct-to-consumer streaming service.
So it's their own streaming service.
Yeah.
Of course
From
it is. It's
Lucasfilm,
Disney.
Yeah.
It's Disney.
well, but that's not a big deal because Amazon does pair, and so does Hulu, I think, with
Yep.
some of those third-party partners, just like PlayStation, right?
Yeah.
If it could get on the PS View, is that their viewing service? You can subscribe to any of these add-on services. That's not bad.
Yeah.
I mean, I could definitely see myself subscribing to Disney's streaming service if it's available through like Amazon Prime, right? If I can add that
Yep.
channel, that's
Yeah.
awesome.
Absolutely.
Alright.
Yeah, here's hoping.
So I'm gonna put you guys
Sure.
on the spot. You ready?
Oh no, it's over.
So, Doc, you just got back from GDQ,
I don't know what you're talking about.
right? Big and you're a big speedrunning guy, right? It's what we get to watch you do a lot.
Oh,
So
yeah.
what was GDQ all about? And tell us what your take on it was. Was this your first time going, or?
No, this is my actual third GDQ event. My fourth overall speedrunning event. So it's a week long overall, like almost like convention type of setting. They have like at a hotel that they're contracted with for that, a specific event or
Right.
whatever it may be, and people get together. It was like, I don't know, about 2,500 of us or something like that. And as you guys probably know, you guys heard of, play games for, whatever charity it may be that they're representing that year. And for AGDQ, it's typically Prevent Cancer Foundation.
Mhm.
And then for SGDQ, it's usually Doctors Without Borders. And so throughout this entire week, from Sunday to like pretty much late Saturday night, early Sunday morning, they have a 24/7 live stream going on of different like games that they're running, events, whatever it may be. Typically, you see games, interviews, and everything like that. That's on the front end, at least. So you have that big like area, the stream room. You have the couch up near the front and everything. With the actual people, commentating and actually playing the games and stuff.
Yeah.
Behind that, you have like this huge, massive like setup and everything, with like different section off areas. So you like, one of our sponsor streamers, Pure Chaos 26. She was back there doing like styling stuff and everything like that for some of the runners who were actually doing stuff on stream for the marathon. Essentially, she was putting on like anti-shine powder and whatnot for them.
Oh, nice.
And they have another section that has like stuff for interviews. They have like a huge back panel set up and everything, as you guys can see on there. They have the couches, they have like all the lighting effects and everything like that there.
Yeah, I got to watch
And they
the
also
end
have.
of the Kirby speed run.
Oh, okay, cool.
I think
cool.
it was like not the last day, but the day before last.
Yeah, crap. I don't remember what Kirby was. Was that Superstar or was that a different one? I don't remember.
I don't remember. I mean, he came pretty close to his average
Estimate.
record. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And then there's just like the equipment that they have set up. There's just a lot of capture devices. There's like, I don't know, probably about 4 different CRTs or PVMs up there. There's like a whole bunch of modders and stuff, blah, 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 whatever, in the big room. And then overall, with the entire event area, you have arcade machines, you have dance machines from Tokyo Attack. You got a lot of different like machines that come in from Japan. So like Bishibashi, some other rhythm games, DDR, all that cool stuff. They also provided areas for tournaments, panels. They had panels on speedrunning, running speedrunning events, running tournaments. They had a game show panel that was pretty funny.
So with speedrunning though, is that like a pretty governed community? Like, is that a tight knit thing where, like you either gain or lose respect for your fellow speedrunners based on whether or not they're trying to abuse glitches when they shouldn't be? Like if someone says it's a glitchless run, and
yeah,
is that a pretty good self-policed community? Because it's interesting because I can see a lot of competition, right? And I don't know if there's like envy of your fellow speedrunners and stuff like that.
Sure. So there used to be, and this is actually pretty historic, in terms of speedrunning, there was a lot more, a lot more glitchless runs and just runs back in the old days, where people were wanting to be like purists per se, to the speed run, so avoiding going out of bounds and all that other stuff and everything around Twin Galaxies, as you guys may or may not know of, having notoriety with the Guinness Book of World Records. Usually a lot of their stuff that's submitted on their boards and everything usually gets put into that documentation. So as we know, Billy Mitchell and Todd Rogers, you guys have heard about them. Yeah. But there's also another place that was very renowned back in the early days of speedrunning, called Speed Demos Archive, which also kind of followed the same ideal, but they kind of had a few different rules on their standing of glitches and whatnot, as long as you didn't like go out of bounds or anything. But these days, each community really governs themselves because of how each game operates and works and whatnot. We have a centralized website for submitting runs and all that stuff, but at the same time, each leaderboard is its own entity. We have a set like community with mods and rules and everything like that for, like, say this bad boy, Earthbound. That's what I run, actually.
Yeah, so I've seen you doing that lately. Yeah.
Yep, I'm going for record and glitchless in that, and that is a motherfucker. Let me tell you.
How far off are you?
I'm only a few minutes off at this current moment, which actually is not a lot.
It's a big hill to climb, though, isn't it? Those last few minutes.
I'm fourth. Yeah, I'm fourth place currently, and I'm only a couple minutes behind third. And it's not as big of a gap as one would think, but it's pretty crazy. But I digress, though. So. With these communities and everything, we usually manage ourselves and whatnot, and all these rules and everything, they get pretty much set. We set those upon categories, for lack of better terms. So like, say we have any percent glitchless, and then any percent, which is beating the game as fast as possible using whatever means necessary besides like cheating. Actually using external cheats or anything like that. And so we have those categories and those rules set up for those parameters.
So no Game Genie?
No, not at all. And
it's a throwback for you young kids out there. That's how we used to cheat back in the day.
Exactly. And some people, do that. They're just like no actual leaderboards to submit to. Like, say if I were to, use like a patched like version of the game that has like infinite running or instant text or whatever, I could still technically do runs of that. I just like could not submit them to any type of board or whatever. I could just do it for fun, essentially. But overall, in terms of cheating, it's whenever you get found out that you're a cheater, it's usually everybody's like, yeah, no, you're done.
Blackballed.
Just in general.
So what I've always wondered about speedrunning in particular is why is it so popular? Because that's a broad question, obviously.
Sure.
But it doesn't it take the fun out of playing the game? Because games aren't supposed to be rushed through.
I can understand that. Sure. So when you look at retro game, a lot of more retro games get speed ran than modern games, of course. Yeah. And when you look at it in terms of that, I put over 1,500 hours into Earthbound speedrunning over the past 2.5 years. Ooh. And to me, and to a lot of other people, it brings more life to the games that you loved as a child. It really allows you to get back and to dive in and honestly get more out of that purchase you made a while back, or just really find out new things about these games and whatnot. It's actually very, very awesome. And for some people, it's a buzzkill because, you don't want to see your childhood game, be broken by glitches or anything of the sort. But at the same time, it's also there's a very contrasting opinion with that, where people just want to see these things broken open. Like, hey, how far can we take this game down?
Right.
How many times is it going to take for us to break this wide open? It's like, Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time, how it's been brought down constantly over the years, just how broken the 80% run is, where you can just, wrong warp, you can make items appear out of nowhere and just like a whole bunch of different stuff. But there is like, again, many, many different categories of, restrictions that we can put on, certain games or just put certain circumstances that allow people to enjoy the game how they want to do so.
And it's all validated to some extent, right? There's
absolutely.
Yeah. So
is there like a hierarchy of like the 100% completion speedrunners and then like the 80% and then like the glitches or whatever?
So each community has designated certain moderators and super moderators that overall validate runs of the community. They could be people who have been in the community for a long time, people that either do like tasking or tool assisted like runs per se of actually optimizing the game to like what it could possibly be outside like of a human standpoint, but more of a computer standpoint and things like that. So it just depends on the community, since they're more self-governing and everything of the sort. But it's not really like, this guy runs 100%, so he's like a fucking legend. And oh my god, but no, it's not like that.
And we can probably leave a little bit of speedrunning information in the description of the podcast when it goes live as well. Once we publish it, I
can probably leave some links for sure.
Absolutely, yeah, and we'll do that just to make sure that those interested in kind of the speedrunning thing. One thing that would kind of lead me to other discussions in the future, and maybe for our our other podcast, the Stream Key that TRUgaming does, it would be really cool because there's a lot of overlay work that goes there to put that information up on the screen so people can actually, kind of run your time. There seems to be some effort, and it's a slightly different setup with each level timers and knowing how far ahead and behind. So that'd definitely be something more to learn about too. But
there's a lot of information and a lot of things out there.
I've seen some speedrunners, and they always have like on their side of the screen, typically it's like 7 different times, and it's like plus 14, plus 7.
What is all that?
Seconds?
It's just like in racing, that plus or minus. Plus means that's how far behind you are in time. Yeah. Yep. That's what they're doing. They're putting timers up there because that's how they're verifying, if you're gonna make it or not. So because I
would love to see like a speedrunner come out in like a NASCAR tracksuit, all covered with sponsors and stuff.
Well,
I mean,
Bear Sound, you can become a new speedrunner.
There are
I'm not good
actual
at
like
enough
huge teams out there that have sponsored people like Caleb Hart, and I'm sure You may or may not heard of him. He's the guy who likes to throw controllers and hop around like a gorilla, breaking chairs and stuff.
Oh no, yeah, that guy. Yeah. I've seen
Not
that
heard
guy.
He's actually really cool. But I digress.
Yeah. So we get the big speedrunning community, and this community is a lot bigger than I thought it was. It seems
It's huge.
Yeah, it's insane.
Massive.
So we've got that, and we'll share more information with that in the description of the podcast. Bear Sound. We talked about a lot of the movies, a lot of the games.
Sound.
Yeah, there it is. What's really got your attention for the rest of this year? What I know we hit on some things, right? But what's really like just one thing that's just driving you up the wall that you're waiting for? We'll all sit anxiously and wait.
It's Fallout 76 because it could either be really good or really bad, and I'm compelled by it.
Yeah.
I don't know how it's gonna go, and I'm very, very compelled by it. And also Destiny 2 Forsaken, because I'm just so sucked in at this point. Anything Destiny, I need to have it.
That sounds pretty reasonable. And any other big events that's kind of exciting you? Or,
well,
Christmas, like.
We have TwitchCon coming up, which I'm like this close to being able to go. I just need to get a hotel, and
I think I'm the only streamer not going.
I'm not going either.
That's okay. Doc and I will just recast everything that's happening, and we'll be the only two at home, kind of like doing our own stream where everybody else is there. We're gonna go ahead and stream all that content for the local world.
There's also a GDQ going to be at TwitchCon as well, called GDQ Express.
Oh, that's awesome. A little mini, mini con, yeah.
Yep, you'll be seeing that on their channel as well, which is gonna be really cool.
Oh, that's.
But yeah, I will not be going because of PTO and budgeting for sure.
Sure. Yeah, but
San Jose
for
is
you,
very expensive.
GDQ is the bigger con for you, isn't it? Like some of the.
Yes.
Yeah.
It is. AGDQ is probably the biggest currently, and it's ever growing for sure. So there are a lot of others out there, but yeah, GDQs are the biggest ones.
I'm assuming GDQ stands for Games Done Fast.
Yeah, exactly.
Quick. GDF would be Games Done Fast.
Yeah, no. As soon as I was saying, I was like, no, come back. No.
Nope. You are forever.
It doesn't work like that.
Forever captured. Nope. It came out of your mouth on live stream.
I know.
Live stream.
I'm not
dude,
the best spoken person.
Hey, neither am I, man. I'm just like I'm sticking like this mouse in my mouth. Oh.
No, put that down. Do you have any idea how dirty that mouth is?
I'm sure he has every idea exactly how dirty it is. It's his desk.
Oh yeah.
You need to get a tetanus shot right now.
Yes, I need to get a tetanus shot from eating plastic. Yeah.
I don't think that's how that works. So.
Thanks for your expert medical opinion.
And with that medical advice, that's going to bring us to the end of our podcast tonight, guys. Bear Sound, DoctorSwellman, thank you both so much for all the fun times, and I really enjoyed the conversation, learn a little bit. If you have a podcast topic you'd like to discuss with us on the show, just email it in to TRUtalk@TRUgaming.com. That's TRUtalk@TRUgaming.com. Go to our website, TRUgaming. Check out any of our social media links. Just get in touch with us. Send us those topics, and we'll be glad to try and fit them into one of our upcoming casts. Remember to subscribe to our channels for our episodes on YouTube, Twitch, iTunes, Spreaker, SoundCloud. We're all over the place. Plenty of spaces to find it. We'll be back in 1 week with some more True Talk. We'll have Grindhead Jim coming back as my co-host, and we will have Goon hanging out with us on the next one. We'll get all that information out to you. And again, Doc, Bear Sound, really appreciate you guys being here.
You're welcome.
Yep. Say goodnight to everybody.
Thank you all for showing up, and you have a wonderful night.
Y'all have a great one. Thank you for stopping by.
Yeah. And
I can't really. What do you want me to do?
How do you follow that?
Follow that? Yeah.
You just don't follow that. All right, everybody. Signing off. Thanks a lot.
Peace.
Later.
Jabba